Hello guys, welcome back to another video, back working on Project KFC. This is my 2010 BMW 318D with the N47 engine. So what we're doing today is not because it necessarily needs it, it's more preventative maintenance. So this engine has covered 188,000 miles now, I think, and I believe it's on its original water pump. So we're swapping out the water pump, also have thermostat and thermostat housing. Also going to be swapping out the drive belt and the drive belt tensioner as well. Now, the drive belt that is on it does seem to squeal. Is that the drive belt? Is it the water pump? Is it the tensioner? Hopefully by swapping all these bits out, we are going to eliminate that noise. I don't think it's anything too serious. It does go away once you wet the belt. But yeah, all this, you know, like I said, it's just preventative maintenance. It's just going to ensure that the drive belt system is going to be good for the foreseeable future. Now then, as always, before we get into things, give this video a like. It really does help me out and it shows your appreciation. Now we're going to start off by getting the engine cover and this front air intake section removed. Just 3 Torx 20 screws holding this in place. And now this just lifts out. And we can also remove the main engine cover itself. Now, if you're wondering why my N47 engine looks slightly different to yours, that's because I have went ahead and removed the EGR system completely. So the EGR cooler goes from the exhaust manifold there to the intake manifold there, as you can see. Blanking plates for the intake, blanking plates for the exhaust, and blanking plates for the coolant ports as well. Makes it a hell of a lot easier working in here when all of that is out of the way. As you can see, water pump is right there, thermostat housing is right there. I can get onto the automatic tensioner, should just be a 15 or 16 millimeter nut, rotate that clockwise so I can then take the belt off. So let's do that now. Okay, so it is a 16 millimeter, again just rotate that clockwise, takes the tension off the belt, you can then slip the belt off. There we are. Now if of course you are only just replacing the water pump, you can just leave the belt there, unbolt the water pump itself, put that back in, and obviously just slip the belt on. As we are basically swapping everything out, I'll remove the belt fully, and to be honest, having a look at the belt, it doesn't look like it's in terrible shape. There's no cracking or anything going on here. So is the belt the issue? I don't know. Do we have any markings on it? I think this is a genuine BMW. It's a Continental one. That's what BMW used from factory, but it's all the writing's kind of rubbed off. So could this be the original? Surely not after like nearly 190,000 miles. But we're swapping this out today anyway. And now what I'm going to do is just unbolt the automatic tensioner. It's just held in by one T50 bolt. There's that bolt removed. Need to save this because the new tensioner doesn't come with a new bolt. I lied, there is 2 bolts holding the tensioner in place. One at the bottom, one at the top. Let's get the other one removed as well. Kind of hidden by the pulley, so if I move this tensioner out of the way, yeah, I'll then be able to get on it. So what I'm going to do is get a pin and insert it through the slot, or I could even get a small screwdriver in there. There we go, just took the tensioner off and inserted the screwdriver through the pinholes there. And now I can get onto that bottom Torx 50 bolt. Just remove that bolt fully with the automatic tensioner itself. Again, we'll keep that bolt. To be honest, the pulleys seem to spin quite freely, but I mean you can tell this is quite old. Oh, this is the original. It's got a stamp for 10 on it, 2010, which is when this car was made. So this tensioner is the original. Could that belt be the original then, that we just removed? Now then, let's get started on the water pump and the thermostat housing. So first thing I'm going to do is just disconnect this hose, just pry the clip out there, and I can pull the hose off. Obviously have something, you know, underneath to catch all of the coolant. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to tuck the hose up if I can, just to save draining the radiator. Also going to remove this lower hose from the thermostat housing as well. Quite a bit more coolant coming out now. Right, while that's draining, let's get the 3 bolts that holds the thermostat housing in place. Should just be 3 10mm bolts. And 3, along with the thermostat housing itself and the thermostat. This is definitely the original. Still works though, it still gets up to operating temperature, but this seal's definitely seen better days, so it's surprising that this isn't leaking. But yeah, we're swapping all this out. Now we can remove the water pump itself. Should be held in by 7 10mm bolts. So there should be one there. Obviously that's where the coolant blank is for the water pump, so we'll have to remove that. One there, one there, one there, one there, and then one there, and I think another one somewhere else. Let's get them all removed. There we go, that should be all the bolts removed. Water pump should just pull off now. Just give it a little bit of persuasion. There we are. That is the water pump removed, and this is definitely the original one. If you're wondering who makes the original ones, I'm pretty sure it's an Italian company called Soleri. I did try to get one, but they didn't have any in stock, so I had to get an inner one, an INA one, which should be just as good, to be honest. But yeah, this is the original one, 2010. Again, didn't really sound that bad. Can't really notice anything. There's not really any play in it or anything, but we'll swap it out anyway. Of course, I need to remove this blank so I can transfer that on to the new pump. First of all, let's get the gasket removed. And this seems flat as a pancake. Look how flat that is. Right, before we start reinstalling everything, I'm just going to give all this a good clean up. You know, prep the mating surface of the new water pump, just so we don't have any leaks in the future. There we go. Give things a nice clean up. Let's get the new water pump installed now. As you can see, new gasket all in place. And it does sit over dowels as well, so it's not like you can put it in the wrong position. Right, let's get all the bolts installed now. And of course the EGR cooler blank as well. Now I'm going to get all of the bolts torqued down to 10 Newton meters. And 7. And now let's get the new thermostat and thermostat housing with new seal reinstalled. I imagine the thermostat can only go in one way. there will be a little bit of pressure from the thermostat, so you just have to push the housing in while you get the bolts in place, and once all 3 bolts are in, you tighten them down, and then again torque them down to 10 Newton meters. There's 1, 2 and 3. Right then, so new water pump, new thermostat housing in place. Let's get both of the coolant hoses reconnected up. There we are, both the coolant hoses back on. Now let's get our new shiny automatic tensioner, get that installed. So it is this way around. Now I'm going to get both of those bolts torqued down to 38 Newton meters. There's 1. There's 2. And of course we can get the new belt installed. So I'm sure it can go on both ways, but I just like to have the writing, you know, going the correct way around, not like that. I'm fairly confident I know which way around this needs to go. So it goes round the crankshaft pulley, and then I think it goes round this automatic tensioner pulley, and then round the water pump pulley. This end goes around the AC compressor, and back end goes on this idler pulley, and then of course over the alternator. Just make sure everything's lined up properly in the grooves, which it is. So that is how it should sit. Now of course we'll just get the 16mm socket on there, rotate it clockwise, and then remove this pin, and then we should have tension on the belt then. There we are. Definitely seems a lot stiffer, the new tensioner, which I can only assume is a good thing. Old one was probably a bit worn. Just confirm everything's still in the grooves so it doesn't fly off on first start up. Yeah, we're looking good, looking good. That's the new belt installed. Right, all I've got to do now is top up the coolant, because of course we've drained probably a litre or 2. Top up the coolant, and then we can fire this engine back into life. Okay, so coolant is up to the max mark. Let's fire this engine up, make sure we don't have any leaks. Okay, so the belt is silent. That noise that we was having is definitely gone. Like I said, I don't know if that was the belt itself, if it was the automatic tensioner, or if it was the water pump. Good chance that all 3 of those were the original, so definitely a good thing that we've done today. Can I see any coolant leaks? No, I can't see any coolant leaks. I guess I'll have to keep checking that over the coming days once I've taken it for a drive, once it's got up to temperature and all the rest of it. But yeah, we look good for now. Well then, there we go. Nice few little jobs done on the cheap daily driver. Water pump, thermostat housing, all new seals, drive belt and tensioner. All done in less than an hour. Very, very simple and easy jobs to do. If I can do that in less than an hour, I'm sure you can as well. I mean, look at me, I'm a YouTube mechanic. I'm here in my sliders, so yeah, I'm sure all of you professional mechanics out there can do this job yourselves as well. But yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully this video has been helpful. Hopefully it's been easy enough to follow along. Don't forget to give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll see you all in the next one.